Right now at 6, the American Legion in Pittsburgh gives thanks to area veterans with a Thanksgiving celebration.
And we've got some scattered showers across the region, new ones developing into Oklahoma. This low pressure eventually will leave the area. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, an outreach group's efforts to keep a homeless shelter in Parsons from permanently closing.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the King Liam Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Friday, November the 21st, almost the end of November. And just like October was so mild for so much of the month, it does not feel like it should be the end of November.
And it went by so quickly.
It
it just came and went. Like, I feel like Halloween was just like last Friday. And
it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but the lack of candy that my kids have left over shows that Halloween must have been much longer ago, because I know they didn't only get like 3 or 4 pieces of candy. That is like all they have left. And so it's almost the end of November. It's going to start to feel a lot more like November, right in time for the holidays, but at least today and into the weekend, still a little bit on the mild side across the region. We also still have some showers across the region, but first, take a look at this. It's our live camera downtown Pittsburgh. It's all rainy and stuff, and while there's not rain on the Skywatch Storm Tracker necessarily, this is just drizzle, those light sprinkles we've talked about. It's just the radar can't pick up on it. We've had some pretty decent drizzle, as you can see, because when we started this morning, this was pretty clear out there. Our camera 7th and range line, wet roadways, otherwise, again, drizzle, sometimes hard to see even from here, but I do not see anything necessarily falling, but that doesn't mean there isn't something there. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line in Joplin, wet roadways, otherwise looking good. In fact, take a look, there's some of those showers there. We get some heavier showers up north around Garnett and Burlington, and we've got some just north of Fort Scott into Bourbon County, and we're starting to see these showers here fill in more, stretching along I-44 and then up toward I-49 to the southeast of Nevada. So these spotty showers, you can see a little one now showing up over Pittsburgh. All of this is part of that low pressure system. The low pressure itself is just off your screen here near Dodge City, and it will continue to bring shower activity, and you can watch the loop where it's just isolated showers. It's not going to be thunderstorms, not looking at very heavy rainfall, anything crazy like that, but rain will continue for a bit in scattered form through the morning hours. Iola reporting about a mile, just over a mile of visibility up there. Yates Center at 6.5, so again, be cautious, watch out. Some of this fog is rain generated. It's not actual fog. It's reduced visibilities from heavier drizzle or showers, but some of it isn't necessarily that, so you do want to slow down, watch out for that patchy dense fog here and there. Our temperatures this morning quite mild. You saw on the map that line where it's a little cooler to the north. That's that warm front attached to that low pressure that pushed through yesterday and brought us our showers and storms. We're low mid 60s out there as we get the day started. However, as we get on the backside of this low pressure system later tonight, winds are going to end up shifting out of the north, because remember, flow around a low pressure system, if it was right here, it's counterclockwise. So on the backside, we'll get northerly winds starting to push in later this evening, bringing in more cloud cover and some cooler temperatures tonight as well. Kids heading out the door, about 61, some scattered showers here and there, otherwise mostly cloudy. Same for the lunch hour, just no shower chances at that point, 66 and 67 as they head home. Now, most of us are going to be mostly cloudy through the majority of the day and make highs about the upper 60s. Some of our southeastern counties ahead of that low may clear out briefly and maybe just long enough to reach about 70, maybe 71. Depends on how much sunshine you can get out there. And we'll have southwest winds ahead of that low pressure system gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. We're going to have another look at your forecast, talk about how the weekend is shaping up, and take a longer look into Thanksgiving here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Authorities have released the name of the suspect from Sunday's officer-involved shooting in McDonald County, Missouri. He's 32-year-old Dylan Martinez, who was on parole from the state of Arkansas. He's a suspect in an arson investigation in Bentonville. Martinez's criminal history includes charges for rape, robbery, residential burglary, theft, kidnapping, and possession of a controlled substance. Investigators say Martinez also had a prior hostile relationship with a person in the area of the shooting. McDonald County authorities say off-duty reserve deputy Michael Hall encountered Martinez on Hall's property in Powell, Missouri Sunday as Hall investigated what appeared to be an abandoned car in his driveway. That car turned out to be stolen. Investigators say after Deputy Hall identified himself, Martinez produced a handgun and fired at Hall, striking him in the thigh. Hall returned fire, striking Martinez. Martinez was transported to a regional hospital for treatment. Hall was treated at a hospital and later released. You can find more details on this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Children's Miracle Network Miracle Market returned this week to Freeman West, bringing holiday shopping and community impact under one roof. The two-day event features about 20 unique vendors, from local boutiques and handmade crafters to woodwork created by a Joplin firefighter, even fresh cinnamon rolls. Organizers say they carefully selected each vendor to make sure shoppers got a wide variety of gifts and goods. A homeless shelter in Parsons, Kansas is in danger of permanently closing. KOAM's Kenny Foreman finds out what one outreach group is doing to help prevent this.
I would be willing to bet that if Safe Haven closes its doors, that would be upwards towards 1,000 people losing access to something that could have saved them.
In the city of Parsons, homelessness is an ongoing issue. Just ask the American Advocacy Initiative, who regularly listens to people's concerns.
I think a lot of people in Parsons have noticed that there is a homelessness issue. It's one of the biggest complaints that we get day to day is that there are a lot of homeless people. Why isn't there a homeless shelter? Most people don't know that there is one.
These concerns were further elevated when the Safe Haven Outreach Mission reached out to the initiative in need of help. After helping those in need for the past 16 years, they are now at risk of closing down due to a lack of funding.
Fortunately, we have been able to keep the doors open so far. We're the newbies on the board, so we're taking a lot of guidance from those who have been there, and they've been so helpful at teaching us what we can do to help.
Despite the shelter's current financial struggles, the initiative is confident in its ability to bring in more volunteers, which would make it easier for the shelter to continue to operate.
I don't see a major issue with the drive for fighting for Safe Haven to go down. As of right now, we really need funding and we really need volunteers, and we're actively working on a plan, and I'm confident that we can make that happen.
In Parsons, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. U.S. military officials meet with Ukraine's president to assist with peace talks as the conflict with Russia continues. Plus, backlash after President Trump appears to threaten several Democrats with arrest and even death after they called on military members to ignore legal orders. And a mostly cloudy Friday as the forests begin to dry out. Chris has a look at your weekend forecast coming up. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sat down with the U.S. Secretary of the Army Daniel Driscoll in Kiev yesterday. Driscoll described the Ukrainian Army's fight against Russia's invasion as, quote, remarkable. He and several other high-ranking Army officials are in Ukraine to help with peace talks. Zelensky asked Driscoll to pass a booklet to President Trump with a list of components used in Russian cruise missiles launched yesterday. Ukraine claims the materials can be traced back to countries including the United States, Germany, and China. The U.S. has said components made in the United States are sometimes supplied to Russia indirectly through third-party countries. There's fallout today after President Trump threatened several Democratic lawmakers with arrest and even death after they posted a video calling on military members to ignore legal orders. Also today, President Trump is set to host soon-to-be New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, weeks after the president unsuccessfully pushed for his defeat, as the Trump administration's peace proposal to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine is now being looked at by leaders in Kiev. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
You can refuse illegal orders.
It's a video that sparked new controversy in Washington and threats from the president.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
6 congressional Democrats, all veterans and former national security officials, prompted by concerns over the administration's deadly strikes on suspected drug boats in the Caribbean and deployment of National Guard troops in American cities. President Trump on social media accused them of seditious behavior punishable by death and reposted a comment saying they should be hanged before writing, "Lock them up."
To suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do, and they should be held accountable.
The Democrats are seeking extra security. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin says she received hundreds of death threats yesterday.
I'm not going to shut up because Donald Trump is threatening me.
Meanwhile, a tone of cooperation as President Trump prepares to meet New York City's mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist he's dubbed a communist.
I have many disagreements with the president, and I believe that we should be relentless and pursue all avenues and all meetings that could make our city affordable.
The focus on America's largest city as Ukraine's president says he's received a Trump-backed plan to help end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In it, reportedly calls for Ukraine to give up weapons and territory in exchange for security assurances. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Still to come, fans take control of a soap opera wedding. Viewers vote for the perfect dress as Young and the Restless characters remarry after decades apart. The two-part celebration begins today. Plus, a mostly cloudy Friday. Chris will have a look at your weekend forecast when we come back. Today's Eye on Entertainment brings a second soap opera wedding and a second Jeff Goldblum. Gwen Baumgarten reports.
It's a second wedding 35 years in the making.
You ready? Yeah. I got this.
Today, Cricket and Danny are headed back down the aisle in The Young and the Restless.
There's dancing, there's music, there's just
drama,
sweetness. Yeah, it's a full circle couple of days.
Their characters were previously married in Hawaii before divorcing in 1994. Ahead of the big day, it was up to fans to find the right dress, choosing this option in a social media poll. The two-part television nuptials will air today and Monday on CBS and Paramount+. A top honor for the world's top tenor. Andrea Bocelli was presented with the Order of May. It's one of Argentina's highest awards presented by the country's president. The award is meant to recognize Bocelli's influence on music.
Cheek to cheek.
Fans of Jeff Goldblum are seeing double. He's the latest actor to earn a life-size wax figure at Madame Tussauds.
This is actually the fantastic.
The replica will go on display in Orlando. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, that's a fun way to get fans of the soap opera involved in the storylines. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we do have some clouds out there for us today. We're looking at highs about the upper 60s. We got a full look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 6:20 on this Friday morning. We do have some patchy fog out there, mainly around the Iola areas you can see in Yates Center. We've got 6.5 miles visibility being reported in Yates Center, just over a mile in Iola. So again, be cautious. Remember what we've talked about with the fog tracker. It relies on observation station data, and there's about a 10 to 15 minute gap in updates to what you're seeing here. So watch out for the potential for rapidly changing visibilities. Just keep an eye out there. Slow down, and you know what to do. Low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them. Now, some of that reduced visibility around Iola is or had been rain, but as you can see, that's now lifted to the north around Garnett into parts of Anderson County. We have some heavier showers out there. We've got a few light showers north of Burlington and into parts of Lynn and Bates County as well. And then we just have almost like, I don't know, like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, you know, the claw marks they made for the third movie. That's kind of what this looks like. These are just spotty showers from Stockton back down toward Lamar, Carthage, south side of Pittsburgh, Galena, Riverton, back toward Baxter Springs, few around Joplin, Carthage, Neosho, and then stretching down south into parts of northeastern Oklahoma, so Fairland, around Grove, back toward Langley. We've got, again, a few different showers out there, and that's really all we're expecting. They're all part of that low pressure system we've talked about the last couple of days, which is right now just to the north of Dodge City. That's where that rotation point is. That's the warm front that pushed through. It's attached to that low pressure, and and eventually that low pressure will start to turn southeasterly, and as it does so, it's going to take the rain showers and the slightly mild temperatures with it, but only for like a day. So today, the majority of us are mostly cloudy. Most of the meaningful rainfall, any kind of actual shower activity, should wrap up by about 9-10 o'clock this morning. Now, ahead of that low pressure, some of you, especially along and south of I-44, may get a wee bit more sunshine than the rest of the region does. If that happens, then some locations will be a bit warmer than what the majority of our region is expecting to see. But those clouds will continue to overspread the area once again as that low pressure comes through. So now we're on the backside. Flow around that low pressure is counterclockwise. So now we've got northerly winds. That's why it's going to be a little chillier tonight. It's going to be a little cooler tomorrow. Skies will begin to clear progressively throughout Saturday. So we'll have partly cloudy skies eventually going clear. And then we'll have clear skies to start our Sunday. It'll start going partly cloudy by the afternoon with some additional showers late Sunday evening into Monday. So again, shower chances should wrap up 9-10 at the absolute latest. Temperatures, thanks to the clouds, again, don't move much. Low 60s by 8, mid 60s by 11. And again, I think the majority of us are upper 60s. Along and south of I-44 in that rough area, if you get a little more sunshine, you could make 70, 71, but the majority of the region should top out in the upper 60s with southwest winds ahead of the low pressure gusting upwards of 20. Mostly cloudy skies through the evening, and as it approaches and the winds begin to shift out of the north, temperatures will start to take bigger drops because like yesterday, they didn't move much, not moving much initially, but then they'll start to take bigger drops until we get into the mid 40s tonight with a north breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. As mentioned, a little cooler tomorrow, but still above normal, near 60. We'll go mid 60s Sunday, a little more sunshine before the clouds increase by late afternoon. Get some showers into Monday, still at mild start and still looking at that colder air arriving late Tuesday. So we start pretty decent Tuesday, then we get pretty darn cold Tuesday night. So we'll be seasonably cool as we head into Thanksgiving. These rain chances I know they keep bouncing back and forth. There's a little uncertainty on the timing of this wave with the rain chances, but as you can see, it's not going to be enough to cancel your Thanksgiving or ruin your plans. Just maybe a few spotty showers. Black Friday, a little milder, low 50s, upper 40s, low 50s by next weekend. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. A new study says many cases of lung cancer are being missed under current U.S. screening guidelines. A study from Northwestern Medicine found that the U.S. Preventative Service Task Force guidelines excludes 2/3 of patients, especially women and people who've never smoked. Researchers suggest new guidelines that expand screenings for people aged 40 to 85. A new daily oral GLP-1 pill can help people lose weight and improve their blood sugar levels. A study by UT Health Houston says the pill, called orforglipron, can be an alternative for people who don't want to take daily or weekly injectables needed for other GLP-1 drugs. Researchers say the pill reduced body weight by 12% and improved cardiometabolic health. Older adults who experience dehydration, malnutrition, or confusion after a major surgery have a much higher risk of poor outcome. An Ohio State University study found developing one of these geriatric syndromes doubles the chance a person over 66 will die within the first year after surgery. The authors of the study says doctors should monitor dehydration, malnutrition, and delirium because they can signal whether a patient is likely to have a successful surgery. This National Diabetes Awareness Month, advances in technology such as artificial intelligence are helping diabetes patients better manage their blood sugar. Jared Hill has more.
Deb Biller has had type 2 diabetes for more than a decade. The 63-year-old is working with her doctor to better manage it.
She suggested that I may have to look at insulin, and that just terrified me. I told her that I really didn't want to do that.
Biller enrolled in a study at the Cleveland Clinic testing whether artificial intelligence could help. The technology from Twin Health creates a digital twin of the patient as wearable sensors monitor blood sugar, weight, blood pressure, exercise, and sleep. The twin guides the patient to make lifestyle changes.
An AI-enabled system of biosensors, including a continuous glucose monitor, as well as physical activity trackers that were coupled with health coaching, which really helped provide the patients with personalized recommendations in real time on how to control their blood sugar.
Dr. Kevin Pantalone led the research. Most adults with diabetes should have an A1C level of 7% or lower. After 1 year, 71% of the tech users lowered their level to below 6.5% while taking only the drug metformin. Only 2.4% of people receiving standard care saw a similar drop.
It learns the patients, it learns their responses to certain medications, the amount of carbohydrate, and actually guides their decision making at the time of eating as to how much carbohydrate to consume, the order of foods to consume, to help prevent these very high excursions of blood sugar.
Participants with help from the digital twin also saw more weight loss and reduced medications like Biller. Her A1C is down to 6.3%.
My diabetes significantly improved. I'm down to one medication, metformin. When I first started, I was 277 pounds. Right now, I'm 225.
She's grateful her overall health is improved. Jared Hill, CBS News.
That's a look at some of today's Hops Health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, flooding hits Joplin as heavy rain swamps Murphy Boulevard through Landreth Park.
And no heavy rain expected today, but we still have some scattered showers to start our Friday. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, how a Joplin Community Center is working to support those recovering from addiction.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KLAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's finally Friday here in the 4 states, November the 21st. We're a week from Black Friday, 6 days until Thanksgiving, which still doesn't seem quite right, but we are 6 days away now from Turkey Day. It's going to be pretty chilly on Turkey Day, seasonably chilly. I should emphasize that. It's not like we're going to be like well below normal or anything. It'll just be a lot cooler than where we've been.
You know, so if you have your Thanksgiving sweaters or if that was part of your outfit plan, like it is mine, you can actually wear it and not be burning alive.
Exactly. You won't be cooking in that sweater. I mean, you might be cooking in the, you know what we mean. And as for today, though, still not necessarily a good day for a heavy sweater, but maybe a light sweater or jacket or something. Yeah, it's going to be a little cloudy, a little cool out there, but still warmer than where we should be. Let's start with our look outside from downtown Pittsburgh. Had some drizzle out there earlier. A few light showers. In fact, just watching the camera, you can see we're still getting some of those light showers and drizzle. Our camera's 7th in range line in Joplin, and we got those cloudy skies and wet roadways to start the day. And same from the MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line in Joplin. Folks get their day underway. Wet roads for sure. We've got scattered showers. They're almost, again, if you know Jurassic Park 3, like the logo for it, the 3 is like a claw mark from a T-Rex or a Velociraptor across there. And that's kind of what these are like. They're just this claw mark of showers stretching along I-44 and pushing north and east into southwest Missouri with some slightly more moderate showers in our far northern counties out there. All of this tied to a low pressure system that is actually sitting right around Dodge City. And you can see the spin from it here, where that low pressure is. Eventually, it's going to start to take a southeasterly turn, and it's going to push into our area, which is going to take the rain with it, but also bring us, at least briefly, some cooler air, especially tonight. Fog trackers shown a lot of improvements. In fact, that's what we talk about, too, with how quickly things can change. Iola, just about 10-15 minutes ago, on the last update, was at 1.3 miles of visibility. Now you're at 8.9, and we have slightly reduced visibilities around the Nevada, Stockton areas, so just watch out for that potential for rapidly changing visibilities here and there this morning. That warm front attached to the low pressure system is what brought us our showers and storms yesterday afternoon. It's also what's brought us some very mild temperatures out there, low to mid 60s to start the day. And we won't do a lot of moving on those temperatures again today. However, as the low pressure approaches, some of us, especially along, give or take a few miles either side, but along and south of I-44, could have a little more clearing take place for just long enough that it might be a bit warmer right through here compared to everywhere else in the region where it's expected to be mostly cloudy. As that low pressure does approach, and here you can see it, it by 8 o'clock. We'll start to get northerly winds on the backside of this. It'll bring in some cooler air and more clouds with it as well. Kids heading out the door, some scattered showers. We'll go about 61, 66, mostly cloudy for lunch and recess, and about 67 as they head home. So that's what I was talking about. Those temperatures don't really do a lot of moving again. Low 60s by 9, and we're going to go upper 60s for most of us for our highs today. Ahead of the low pressure, southwest winds gusting upwards of 20, and again behind it, those winds will begin to shift out of the north. That'll make it a little chillier tonight. We'll talk about how chilly it's going to get tonight, how the rest of the weekend is looking, and whether or not that cold air is still on the way next week here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. As he was saying, we can expect to see a little bit more rain this moving, but it's mostly moving out of the 4 states. That follows a day of heavy rains and flash flooding issues. Heavy rain yesterday afternoon flooded Murphy Boulevard through Landreth Park, forcing the city to close a portion of the road for several hours. Floodwaters covered the roadway near the park's east entrance before receding by mid-afternoon. Since we have a little bit more rain expected this morning, Joplin officials remind drivers to watch for potential flooding in low-lying areas across the 4 states. The 6th annual Kids Giving Gala for Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County took place in Miami, Oklahoma yesterday. The fundraiser invited community members and businesses to help provide more than 1,200 kids at the Boys and Girls Club serves. A fully catered dinner was provided for those who attended, and club alumni and youth served at the event. This year's fundraising goal is $100,000. Yesterday, KOAM kicked off our season of giving with Feed the 4 States, supporting local food pantries. From noon to 6:30, 4-staters called in and donated thousands of dollars. Donations that will have double the buying power at shelters like the Wesley House and Crosslines. KOAM's Blake Gully spoke with Travis Hurley from Watered Gardens to learn about the impact of those donations on our community.
Here with Travis from Watered Gardens, how important is this cause for you?
Blake, it's so important to us at Watered Gardens Ministries. We really believe that civil society can rise up in times of crisis, and as folks have had experiencing some food insecurity as a result of the government shutdown for a season, our Mission Market food pantry grocery store has been hit extra hard.
So you can go to our website, koamnewsnow.com, and continue to donate. We will take those donations and it will help our community. We've been doing this for over 20 years, and we want to continue to give back to the 4 states.
Ron's Supermarket in Pittsburgh will collect donations Tuesday from 4 to 7 p.m. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and the American Legion in Pittsburgh is preparing to feed veterans, first responders, and their families. The dinner, which includes donated ham, turkey, and side dishes, is to show appreciation for the men and women who have served our nation.
We're hoping for a better turnout for this Thanksgiving holiday season to start our season off right, and then I'm able to communicate and talk to these people. My leadership is able to talk to these guests and let them know what we're all about and what we're doing.
Post 64 shares a home with Post 394, which is one of the 2 posts in the United States that membership is exclusive to female veterans. The dinner will take place Saturday starting at 5 p.m. In this week's Doing Good segment, people who've survived addiction are now dedicating their lives to helping others beat it. As KOAM's Ty Parks reports, the Recovery Outreach Community Center on South Main in Joplin proves that sometimes the best help comes from those who understand the struggle.
On South Main near 20th Street in Joplin is The Rock, Recovery Outreach Community Center. This is a place for people suffering from addiction who can get peer-driven help.
We are a very affected area in Joplin. There are people struggling all over. But here in our community, we have been adversely affected by the opioid crisis, as well as all the meth and other weird drugs that they have nowadays. People are really looking for a place to get help.
Being a peer-driven support system, the people who help are people who have walked in the same shoes.
Somebody coming in looking for help with somebody that they would relate to. So one of our peers would sit down with them, see if they have a goal in mind that they want to obtain.
The goals that peer specialists help them with could be help them get clean, apply for a job.
Involved in our services here, everything's free, so people can just come and go and enjoy, whether it's meetings, peer support, We have cooking class, we have craft social. So we have a lot of things to be able to interact so people can build a community and have a safe place to go to.
Somebody reached out to me in my darkest hour, and I paid that person back by doing this, but it also helps me and reminds me every single day where I can be, where I fit in.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Because The Rock is a peer-driven system, there are no clinical services available at the facility. That's a look at some of our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, a Webb City father fights for his life while his family seeks community support. Plus an I-44 bridge strike and an officer-involved shooting, and Shannon Becker's Big Three. Welcome back. We always love having Shannon Becker in the studio to give his Big Three news stories of the week, but sadly he is unable to join us this week.
So don't worry, though. We've still made sure that we've got those stories ready to give to you because he sent them to us even though he isn't here. The number 3 story, an oversized load carrying a small building failed to clear the I-44 overpass on Missouri 59 in Fidelity. That was just before 10 o'clock on Friday. The building struck the overpass after missing an exit and debris fell onto the road. A pilot car stopped for the debris and it was rear-ended by a truck hauling a trailer. Just a chain reaction out there on these collisions. This pilot car driver was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. MoDOT officials reported the bridge damage was minor, involving soft materials like particle board and sheet metal. So, of course, slowing up some traffic. Got to be careful on those low clearances. There's a lot of low clearance bridges around our area for sure.
Yes, definitely pay attention to that signage as well. Our number 2 story, Matthew Hendricks, a Webb City man, is in the ICU after a serious rollover crash in Lawrence County. The Missouri State Highway Patrol reports that Hendricks swerved his wrecker to avoid an oncoming vehicle, causing it to strike a utility pole and overturn. Friends have organized a GoFundMe to support his family during his recovery. Hendricks, who is sedated and on a ventilator, is the head of his household, supporting his partner Abby and their 3-year-old son Liam. Donations will help cover household expenses while he's unable to work.
Of course, a very tragic situation there. And of course, as mentioned, there's that GoFundMe that's been set up for that family as well. Our number 1 story this week, Dylan Martinez, 32, has been identified as the suspect in an officer-involved shooting with an off-duty McDonald County deputy. Now, Martinez, who has a lengthy criminal history, including charges of rape, robbery, and kidnapping, was involved in a shooting on November 16th near Route E in Powell, Missouri. Now, Deputy Michael Hall, who encountered Martinez with a stolen vehicle, was shot in the right thigh, but he returned fire, hitting Martinez. Both of them were injured, with Martinez remaining in the hospital. Michael Hall has since been released. The investigation, of course, is continuing into that. And of course, with this, Hall showed up. He went out. He saw a car in his driveway, looked abandoned, and that's when Martinez showed up. And he identified himself as a deputy. Hall did, and that's when Martinez opened fire and Hall returned fire. So still something that they're investigating there. We do not have a bonus story for this week. The bonus story is we get to be Shannon Becker. That's a bonus, right?
You get to be part of this now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You folks that don't know, when I'm filling in here, Shannon and I, he's known me since I was an infant, so we have a long history together for sure. So it's fun to be Shannon. I can't be Shannon, but we can be like Shannon.
Yes.
That's what we can do.
And, he always cares about the 4 states and wanted to make sure that we get this breaking news. So he still, even though he's on, a vacation, a much-deserved vacation, he still made sure that we had his big 3 stories.
I didn't know that he took time off. I don't know how he does what he does, because I could not do it all the time. But of course, Shannon, a great resource, great asset, and I know a lot of you folks out there tune in for some of those live local breaking stories that he covers, and that we will then bring to you here. Well, that's Shannon's Big 3. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. All right, it is time for some Friday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we are beginning in Pittsburgh with Stella. And Stella, I'm going to say your last name wrong, I know it, but Leich, celebrating birthday number 1 in Pittsburgh. So Stella, very happy birthday to you, and many apologies because I'm sure I did not say that right at all.
Well, in Jasper, Missouri, Gentry Joe Etchison is celebrating birthday number 4. Happy birthday, Gentry Joe.
And in Erie, Briggs Clayson celebrating birthday number 6 today. Happy birthday.
And in Carthage, Liam Honshell is celebrating birthday number 8. Happy birthday, Liam.
Heading over to Ellesmore for J.C. Furman, celebrating birthday number 8 as well, with happy birthday love coming from Mom and Dad.
And in Bronson, Kaylor Botts is celebrating birthday number 9.
And we continue here with Taisley Stasser in St. Paul, celebrating birthday number 13. Happy birthday.
And in Frontenac, Noah Davis is celebrating birthday number 14. The note says, happy birthday, love Mom and Dad. Happy birthday, Noah.
And over in Jasper, we've got Easton Pettibon celebrating birthday number 14. A very happy birthday to you, Easton.
And Jet Shanholzer is celebrating birthday number 14. Happy birthday, Jet.
Heading over to Owasso, where we've got Sam Ann High School celebrating birthday number 18. It says, love you bunches. Happy birthday.
And in Carterville, Maddie Shaw is celebrating birthday number 26. Happy birthday, Maddie.
And in Houghton, Louisiana, long distance birthday here for Amy Marie Bright, celebrating number 41. Says, to my only daughter, love you forever and always, Mom.
And Stephanie Allen is turning 49 in Joplin. It says, love you, Mom and Dad. Happy birthday, Stephanie.
And in Columbus, Ralph Hauser is celebrating birthday number 70 today. Happy birthday, Ralph.
And Dave Ruddick is celebrating in Columbus. It says, happy birthday, love Janie, family, and church family. Happy birthday, Dave.
And also in Columbus, Colby Hales celebrating another year wiser. Says, have a great day from your office at Davis Real Estate.
And then Diana Duncan is also celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Diana.
And Colleen Grant in Scammon celebrating another year wiser today as well. Very happy birthday. No anniversaries on this list, but a very happy birthday to all of you celebrating. And for those who would like to celebrate with us, there's something super easy to do, and Sam has that information for you.
Yes, of course we want to celebrate with you on your special day. Make sure to send those birthdays and anniversaries and pictures you want us to include to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. You can see that email on your screen, but also pay attention to that deadline on your screen to make sure we get those birthdays and anniversaries in plenty of time so we can celebrate with you on your special day.
Of course, very important information there, and we've got some important weather information, as we always do at this time. We do have some patchy, really isolated fog at this point. Iola, Yates Center, still some reduced visibilities. Iola's come back down to about 5.5 miles, and then one thing I learned some time ago, you can actually zoom in on this. It doesn't do a lot, but you can get a better view as to some of those little areas where you see Cassville's reporting decent visibility, but immediately to the east, you can see that visibility drops off just a wee bit out there, so do be cautious this morning. Also, take a look at our showers. They're still widely scattered across the area. We get some heavier showers up in our far northern counties here, stretching from Garnett back toward Mound City, Butler, and Rich Hill. And then we head south, and these are very spotty showers, but you can see one to the northeast of Sheldon, a couple near Stockton, south of Greenfield. We got one getting ready to roll into Lamar, one pushing into Jasper as we speak. A couple light sprinkles up by the airport in Joplin. Carthage, you're dry for the moment. Mount Vernon, you are in a triangle, a Bermuda Triangle of showers. One to your northwest, one to your southwest, and one to your south and east. And then Seneca, shower getting ready to roll up your way from Highway 60 coming in out of Ottawa County. And a few more stretching back down toward Fairland. A couple light sprinkles over by Grove. And this is really going to be the bulk of the rain that we're expecting to see. We've had some of these showers redevelop, and you can see where that's been taking place as they lift off to the north and east. They're all associated with that low pressure system, which is over or very close to Dodge City. It will eventually begin to track off to the southeast, and as it does so, it will do a couple of things. One, we'll get some gusty winds ahead of it, and two, winds will shift behind it. It's going to get a little bit on the chillier side tonight as well. Well, right, so by noon, I think by 9, 10 o'clock at the latest, the most of the meaningful rainfall, like what we're actually picking up on radar this morning, should be done by 9 or 10. Could we get some light drizzle, a couple of sprinkles after that? We could. It's just those chances drop off pretty significantly beyond 10 a.m. Then we have the mostly cloudy skies. Now, Future Track is hinting, and there's been some conflicts on the clouds here with that low pressure along and south of I-44 might go partly cloudy, possibly even mostly clear for a little bit this afternoon. If you get enough clearing down here, you could be a little warmer than the rest of the region, which will only make the upper 60s, but down along and south of I-44 could get a couple of 70-degree readings out there. The low pressure approaches, wind shift out of the north. We go mostly cloudy again through the evening and overnight. We'll have skies progressively clearing as we head into our Saturday as well. We'll be a little cooler for Saturday too, and we'll start to warm back up by Sunday. All right, low 60s to start, mid 60s by 11, mostly cloudy with some of those isolated scattered showers out there to get our Friday underway. Got another look at your forecast, your wake up recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 here at 7 a.m., people who've survived addiction are now dedicating their lives to helping others beat it. We're going to learn about a community center that proves sometimes the best help comes from those who understand the struggle. That and more at 7 a.m. So again, we've got those mostly cloudy skies today. Now again, near and south of I-44, because it could stretch a little further north. Could get a little more clearing. It's going to depend on how much you get, how long that clearing takes place. So we have some locations that could make 70, 71 if there's a little more sunshine. But I think most of the region is mostly cloudy. We're going to top out in the upper 60s. Southwest winds ahead of that approaching low pressure, gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy through the evening, so even if you do get that clearing, it won't last long. And as that low pressure approaches on the backside of it, winds will shift out of the north. Temperatures will begin to take slightly bigger drops than what they have the last few days. Not plummeting, but I mean, the last couple of days, they really haven't moved at all. They'll move a bit tonight, back into the mid 40s, north winds 5 to 10. That does mean we'll also be just a wee bit cooler tomorrow, mid to upper 50s, maybe right about 60. Skies clearing later in the day on Saturday, clear to start our Sunday. Clouds return Sunday evening. Some showers start showing up as well late Sunday into Monday. That cold air still looks to arrive by Tuesday night, so a chilly but seasonably chilly Thanksgiving out there for us back into the mid 40s.
It'll finally start feeling like November, maybe.
Yeah, maybe for more than just a couple of days too.
Well, thanks, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making old-fashioned cornbread dressing in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. Coming up on CBS Mornings, soccer legends Brianna Scurry and Brandy Chastain join the show to talk about the continued success and growth of women's soccer.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Sarah Runnan joins us in the studio to talk about Small Business Saturday coming to Pittsburgh.
Plus, while he can't be here in person, Sam and I have Shannon's big 3 stories of the week. So I hope you'll join us for that as well. It's going to wrap it up for us here on KOAM. We'll be back Monday morning bright and early at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.